Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Children of Morta. We are now in the, I guess, chapter select screen or area select screen where we decide where we want to go. And right now there's only one place.
Souls of Anaiadaya must be here, for she needs to be found.
The narrator just telling us again what he said last time. Right now there's only one place we can go, that is the Silk Caverns in the Children Caves. Before that though, let's return home, because I want to show you something. I want to show you the house. And let's just take a look around. We see John's wife. She's just in the chair. We see the daughter. I don't think she's been named yet, so I don't want to spoil it, even though that wouldn't be much of a spoiler, but still. We see Uncle Ben in his workshop, tinkering away at something. We see Linda up here, just standing around, doing something. Don't see Kevin. We see Grandma Margaret, just in bed, you know, resting up a bit. Let's take a look around. What else do we see? There's John. We're gonna be playing as him shortly. We see some animals. We see another person inside. I'm not gonna say anything about that person just yet. Let's see if we can find Kevin. Nope, that's not him at all. Maybe he is out here? No. You know what? I'm sure he will turn up somewhere. I'm sure he's doing fine. But I also want to show you, you can actually go pretty far out if you scroll up and see the wonderful art and this lovely little vista over here. It's just great to look at that every once in a while, to, you know, between runs, come back there and just pause and reflect. That's one thing I love about this game. Those little touches that just add to the immersion of the game. Now we're gonna go into the Children Caves and probably promptly get murdered. And yeah, let's confirm. Now we get to decide who we want to play as. I really want to play as Linda, but I'll start out playing as John, and then next time we'll switch to Linda. So let's select him. Let's go.
A celestial shard chipped directly from the ancient crystal in the sanctuary. It would be the Bergsons' lifeline, a tether to pull them back home before death's fateful whisper.
That right there was the game's explanation for why, even if we go down in a dungeon, we won't truly be dying. I like when games justify their mechanics through lore. Alright.
Filling the winding tunnels of the silk-covered caves, the acrid taste of poison lingered in the air. Spiders. Linda told herself it was only target practice. As she readied her bow, they must find the spirit deep within the caves.
And even though it looked like Linda was gonna join us for a second, she then wandered off. As I mentioned in the previous video, generally, unless you're playing co-op, if you're playing single player, you will be by yourself when you go in. There will be brief moments, there are like specific events for which other family members will participate, but by and large, you will not be having their help for these regular dungeon stages. And I'm sad that that bat was able to hit us. Really didn't want that to happen. What I'm gonna do now is just try to keep my distance as best as I can. He's got pretty good reach on his sword swings, but it's not quite the same as having a true ranged attack. So for a lot of it, I'm essentially gonna be waiting for his attack to recharge. The good thing about this game is that when your attack does recharge, there's a pretty prominent little animation and a sound that plays, meaning you can tell when your attack's ready again without taking your eye off the action in the center of the screen, and I really like that little touch. Taking a bit of damage, which to the best of my ability I'd like to avoid.
Everyone was encouraged to take part in a game of destiny. A prize awaited the fortuitous, but there was only pain for the unfortunate.
Here's one of the events that can happen in the game. This one, it's really just a game of chance. If there's a way to guarantee success in this, I don't know. And if you do know, feel free to share, but as far as I can tell, you pick one of these, and it's a 1 in 3 chance, and if you're successful, then you get the thing. I'm just gonna pick this one. We didn't get the thing. Instead, we got enemies. I don't even know if we get experience for killing these ones. Okay, these guys are... you do get experience. But I was so focused on my experience bar that I took a hit. That's okay. One of these days we'll get that event again and maybe even succeed in it. I really want to do is get another couple of level ups. By the way, I didn't spend my point yet. Should I? Should I get thorn damage on my shield, or should I wait for one more level up and get a stronger Heaven Strike? I think I should wait for the stronger Heaven Strike, because that does seem to be one of our main ways of taking down enemies. And if we could make it strong enough so that we're one-shotting enemies, that would be great. These enemies are chipping away at us, which is not great. Okay, let's be cautious. When you do your Heaven Strike, you do stand still for a moment, so that's one thing that I'm trying to be cautious of, because I can never tell exactly which enemies it's gonna hit, and I don't want to take a hit because I was standing still and the enemy next to me either wasn't hit or wasn't killed. Seem to be doing relatively okay. I do want to bash these pots though, because pots... Ah man, I thought I was hitting that bad. Pots will sometimes have things in them, but sometimes they won't. That's very much like pots in real life, you know, which sometimes they have things in them and sometimes don't. You know, it's just a fact of life. I, you know, would like to challenge that bit of damage. I feel like I dodged that. Let me check the map by hitting left on the directional pad and confirm that we haven't left any place unexplored behind us. Alright, now we're fighting enemies with annoying ranged attacks. Fortunately, this guy, all he does is slow us down, but there are spider enemies that do have a damaging ranged attack, and I don't want to get hit by those. These guys are pretty easy because of how slow they are. We can stun lock them, no problem. Here's an interesting little thing. You see this mark on the ground? It got a little bit brighter. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let these enemies come towards me. I'm gonna let these enemies come. That was one of the secrets in this game. And for the longest time I didn't understand how they worked, but that is how they work. You kill enemies in their general vicinity, and then if you kill enough of them, you'll get a reward. We also got a charm from the box. By the way, these wooden chests you can open freely, but they sometimes won't have anything in them. Unlike the chests which you spend gemstones to open. We opened one of those in the tutorial. So it's kind of like a, you know, you get what you pay for situation going on with these chests. But this gave us a charm. Now, charms are an interesting item type. The game's going to tell us about them. That they are consumable items. And this one will, if I hit right on the D-pad, it'll open up this little menu where I can get information on the stuff I'm carrying. So this charm will turn gemstones to morve. Now we don't have any gemstones, so I don't think it would do anything to us. But if we did, it would turn it into morve, which is the, I believe, the currency in this game. Okay, let's not get hit. And by the way, this thing over here is a trap. If you hit it, it will explode. It will damage you, but it will also damage enemies. So it can be used offensively, but I think you're better off just trying to dodge it, because it can be really finicky. Okay, let's keep our distance. Hard to do as a melee character, but often required. Picking up all the gold that we can. Oh, and I got lucky dodging those spikes. Well, I mean, dodging is too grand a way to put it. I just happened to not get hit by them. As you can see on the ground over here, there are holes on the ground, which is, you know, it's understood in RPGs that if there are holes in the ground, that there's a spike trap. One thing that happened, which I'm pretty happy about, is we did level up. We now have 2 skill points. And I'm gonna immediately improve my Heaven Strike, which makes it stronger. And hopefully that means we should be able to one-shot a lot of enemies. If we had a gemstone, we would have been able to open this, but sadly we don't. And unless we find one, it's random, by the way. Sometimes enemies will drop them, sometimes you'll find them in chests. If we find one, we can go back and do that, but I don't think we'll be able to, because we found the end. We do get a freebie, though.
Energy flowed around the room. Before the hero, an object of the divine.
We get a Divine Grace, which is the which is a passive bonus, and this one will, you know, we'll get more gold. And obviously something like that is better to find earlier. What I want to do is I want to make sure there aren't any areas that we're missing. Yeah, no, we went this entire dungeon, we didn't find a single gemstone. There are 2 of these that we didn't get to open. You know, sometimes that happens though in roguelikes. You know, you play The Binding of Isaac, and there are golden chests, but no keys to open them. Always a painful situation. And I'm just walking here out of the desperate hope that maybe there was one that I left on the ground. Ooh, maybe this guy. That guy did help us, but he didn't give us what I was hoping for. But he did give us this charm. Let's just use it right away. It increases movement speed. I believe it should last for the rest of this run, unless they changed it. And that should help us a little bit, especially when we're backtracking away from enemies. Rather than walk all the way back, let's just teleport back. This is one thing I love about this game, is that this little quality of life thing. Because often in roguelikes, where layouts are procedurally generated, you might find the exit early on. In fact, it might be the first thing you find. And then, you know, you still want to explore the rest of the dungeon, but you're like, I'll have to walk all the way back. But in this game, if you just hold the up button on the directional pad, it will teleport you straight to the exit. And I think that is a great little touch. Alright, we're gonna go into the second floor. Hopefully do a good job. Still upset about those two chests we had to leave behind. And immediately our improved Heaven Strike is helping us out considerably. Ooh, we got a bit of a bonus because we had a kill streak. It's early on and my character is still pretty weak, so I'm not gonna be trying too hard to get streaks going on. And this enemy type has a couple different things he can do. He just launched a projectile at us. That's one thing. He can also summon spider allies. And I'm okay with him summoning spider allies because they're pretty easy for us to take down. I would be less okay with getting hit with his attack because I don't like taking damage. And again, I did not notice those spike traps on the ground. So lucky that I didn't take damage there. We have a new elite enemy type. This guy will leave damaging pools of some unknown liquid on the ground. But generally, if you're on the move, you should be able to avoid that, and these should disappear after a while. This guy is only a skeleton type, so he's not too frightening. It's not too difficult to dodge his attacks. But if he did hit us, it would be quite painful. Alright, we're gonna... Ooh, there's another elite. This is one of the faster types. And also one of the... Oh my god, I got trapped on the... Oh my god, this is not a good place to fight. And I'll explain why, and you might already be seeing why. But I'll explain why after we fought this enemy. Oh my god, the guys are hitting us as well. Everything's going wrong. It's all going wrong. Oh, I thought I was out of range. Are you serious? Oh no. Am I gonna die before I even reach the boss? Is that what's gonna happen? No. I think... Oh my god. Oh my god. And as you saw, I was at 9 health, but then I quickly regenerated. What happens in this game is that if you're below a certain threshold of health, you will regenerate. Provided you don't get hit for a while. So I got a little bit lucky there. Well, I got lucky in the end, but I was unlucky in the beginning to have come across such an unfortunate array of enemies. Okay, don't want to get hit. And let's just let's just be a little bit conservative. I don't anticipate being able to kill the boss, but you never know. You never know if we find a good power-up. If we find a good power-up, it could happen. There seems to be an odd symbol on the ground, or am I just reading something into it? It definitely looks like a symbol, doesn't it? Is this a secret of some kind? I don't know. Maybe it's just something on the ground. Environmental hazards deal less damage. That's not a particularly useful one. But, you know what? I guess we'll take it. This seems to be another charm. A massive amount of damage to yourself and any nearby enemies. I'm gonna pick it up just to get the codex entry, but I don't want to be suicide bombing. Not just yet. Maybe if I had like an extra life, something that gave me an extra life, but not like this. I want to get as far as I can. Okay, I'm just gonna pick up as much gold as we can. Okay. Oh, we got some health on the ground. That's good. Okay. These bats are annoying because the range at which they start their dash attack is outside the range of my melee attack. And before I go any further, I want to show you one thing. I'm going back to the opening room to show you this. Is that there are some things on the ground that you can freely walk through, like these. There are other things on the ground that will stop you in your tracks, like these. And a lot of the damage I was taking early on was because it was hard for me to tell which things I was able to walk through and which things I wasn't. And that's something you get a feel for as you play the game. An intuitive sense of what's safe and what's not. But I haven't played this game for a while, so I'm gonna have to rebuild those instincts slowly. And another big part of those instincts is knowing when you're safe from these spider projectiles. And oh my god. How did I take that much damage? Alright. Here's what we're gonna do. Gonna get a bit more of a kill bonus. I was hoping that would target one of the ones further out. Alright. I'm gonna leave that healing on the ground for now, because I'm hoping to level up and then heal. That spider, I thought you were dead. I thought you were dead. Now you are dead. Okay. Okay, let's be a bit more intelligent about how we fight. Okay. We've reached the end. This is, as you can tell from the symbol on the ground, a significant room. And as you can tell from the skull symbol on the minimap, that is the, I think, almost universal symbol in video games of an approaching boss fight. And we're going into this boss fight with not much hope. We have taken damage. We have a little bit of healing on the ground, but we generally don't look like we have much of a chance. We didn't get any really helpful power-ups either, but that's just sometimes a thing that happens in roguelikes, you know? This guy could be really good for us. And I just want to make sure he doesn't hit us. Because I think we should be able to... Uh-oh, no, 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 no. I need a heal. I need a heal, okay. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. I'm quiet because I'm concentrating.
The Bergson began to slip away.
I thought we could...
Wondering if this was death. It was warmer than they expected.
I thought we could take a hit, because we took a hit from him earlier and it didn't kill us. But I guess I was wrong. And,
They gasped for air as the celestial shard brought them back. A sensation no hero could become accustomed to. As she heard John and Linda describe their foray, thoughts rushed through Margaret's head. The corruption had amplified the creature's wickedness, and no longer were they part of the harmony of the Rhea. With the new threats looming, Margaret asked Ben to prepare his workshop. He would have to take charge of enhancing the warrior family's weapons and armor. Uncle Ben reached out to the familiar warmth of the forge. If they were to reach the top of Mount Morta, their equipment would need to be of the highest quality.
okay, so... I'll admit my pride is a bit wounded by dying like that on the first run. But for story purposes, it's probably better that that happened, because these two cutscenes, what happens when you die, and unlocking the workshop, are, I believe, meant to happen before other story progress happens. And had I gotten all the way to the end and beaten the boss, we would have gotten a bunch of story progress as well. It's probably for the best that we got this out of the way early on. Let's go to the workshop. See how much gold we have. See, Uncle Ben can upgrade our stuff, and the game prompts us to get extra health for the first upgrade, so we have to get that. But the other upgrades you can get freely. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna upgrade attack damage. And I'm gonna upgrade attack damage again. And let's get even more health. Alright. And with that, I'm gonna call this video to a close. It's a shame we didn't get further in the first run, but you know what? It's a roguelike that we're playing on hard mode, by the way. Let me just show you the difficulty. We are on hard. You can change it to normal if you want. I'm gonna keep it on hard though, because I feel like the game's a bit more balanced towards my tastes at that difficulty. But you know, you can play at whichever difficulty you want. But yeah, that is gonna be the end. Before we call it a video, let's just take a look around. Let's see what everyone's doing. Let's see how everyone's going about. We see Linda in the room with the other daughter. Ben's still in his workshop. Grandma Margaret is performing some kind of experiment, it seems, with chemicals. Mary is in the bed. Seems like John is also taking a nap. And Kevin is in his room, sitting on the bed, thinking about something. He's upset that he's not allowed to practice with his weapons. Oh well. let's also take a look at the oh yeah, the only new like message that the game's giving us is the fact that the workshop is now active, and we've already taken a look at that. So I think that will be all for this video. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I will join you in the next video. Let me go back to the chapter select screen, when we will go on another journey through the Caldepo caves. I will probably be going with John again, just out of spite, because I want to finish this first area with him. So, I'll join you for the next part. So until then, take care.